Yesterday, I posted a video where I talked about the 17 teams who have never been ranked in the AP poll. Today, we're going to be taking a look at teams you thought should have been included in that video. Instead, these are the 10 teams with the longest current AP poll drought. Before we get to today's video, make sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. If you're watching this video, odds are that you love college football, and odds are you aren't subscribed to my channel. So make sure to subscribe to one of the best college football communities here on YouTube. I'm posting a video every day leading up to the start of the season, so make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. Also, make sure to drop a like on this video as well. It helps out with that YouTube algorithm and helps share the video with more college football fans. Plus, it only takes a second to do. For the teams in today's video, I'll be talking about the teams who have the longest droughts since being ranked inside the top 25 of the AP poll. Before we get to those 10 teams, we do have a few honorable mentions who just missed the cut. Kent State, Ohio, Louisiana Tech, and Rutgers were all ranked back in 2012. And thinking back on it, what a crazy season that must have been to have all those teams sniff the rankings at some point. Kent State and Rutgers got as high as number 18 in the polls, Ohio got as high as number 23, and Louisiana Tech was as high as number 19. We also have Southern Mississippi, who was last ranked in 2011, getting as high as number 20. Kicking off our top 10 though is one of 3 teams who was last ranked in 2010, this one being the UConn Huskies. They barely snuck in here as they were ranked number 25 during their final game of the season. After starting the year 3-4, UConn won 5 consecutive games to close their season. They were ranked number 25 in the Fiesta Bowl against Oklahoma, where they lost by nearly 30 points. They had the ranking for 1 game and have not sniffed the top 25 ever since. Another team that hasn't been ranked since 2010 is Hawaii. They got 1 spot higher than UConn as they were ranked number 24 in their final game of the year. The Rainbow Warriors actually cracked in the rankings for the Mountain West title game when they were ranked 25th. After defeating UNLV by nearly 40 points, they climbed all the way up to number 24 for the Hawaii Bowl against Tulsa, where they lost by nearly 30 points. The only time Hawaii has been close to being ranked since then came back in 2019 when they finished the season with 10 wins. Nevada has been ranked only twice in program history, and the last time they were ranked came during their best season in program history. They finished the season with 13 wins, by far their most ever in a single season. The Wolfpack won the first 6 games that year, climbing up all the way to number 19. They lost to Hawaii and fell out of the rankings. However, they won their final 7 games that year, and they climbed all the way up to number 13 where they defeated Boston College in the Fight Hunger Bowl. After that win, they were ranked number 11 to close the season. Moving on to Central Michigan, who was last ranked in 2009. It was the only time they've ever been ranked in the history of their program. The Chippewas went 12-2 that season, the best in program history. After they lost the first game that year, Central Michigan went on to win 11 of their next 12 games. After going 11-2 through 13 games, they were ranked number 25 for the final game of the season. They knocked off Troy in the GMAC Bowl, giving them their 12th win of the year. Following that bowl win, Central Michigan was ranked number 23 in the final AP poll, their highest ranking in program history. Up next is UTEP, who hasn't been ranked since 2005. This was a program that began back in 1935 and wasn't ranked for the first time until 2004. They were ranked again a year later and haven't been ranked since. The Miners only went 8-4 in 2005, but a 5-game winning streak right in the middle of the season helped them climb into the rankings. After they started the season 8-1, UTEP was ranked number 24. Well, that ranking turned out to screw them as they'd go on to lose their final 3 games of the season. As I mentioned, the Miners haven't been ranked since that. Since having that 8-win season and being 8-1, UTEP has never won more than 7 games in a single season since. Bowling Green hasn't been ranked since 2004. They had a 3-year run from 2002 through 2004 where they were ranked every season, but they haven't been in the top 25 now for nearly 20 years. Bowling Green actually has the saddest story on today's list. They were ranked number 25 after a 7-game winning streak that put them at 8-2 on the season. They got ranked after their win against Marshall. The only issue is that they never got to play a game where they were actually ranked. They actually had a bye after they were ranked, and by the time they played their next game, they had dropped from the rankings. So Bowling Green got ranked, didn't play a game, and the voters decided, you know what, let's drop them from the rankings. Technically, the last time they played a game as a ranked team was in 2003 when they played a game as the number 15 team in the country. The Falcons have had a couple of 10-win seasons since, as they won 10 in 2013 and 2015, but they couldn't get ranked during each year. The last time Miami of Ohio was ranked came back in 2003, and I think you can guess who their quarterback was: Ben Roethlisberger. The Redhawks were ranked previously in 1976, so they went 27 years before being ranked again. After they lost their first game of the season, the Redhawks won their final 13 games. But they didn't crack the top 25 until the 10th game of the season, where they came in at number 23. They continued to climb every week, being ranked as high as number 10 to close the year. That ranking is tied for the highest Miami of Ohio has ever been ranked in the history of their program. They did have a 10-win season back in 2010, but didn't do enough to be ranked. The Redhawks have made a bowl game in 3 of the last 4 seasons, but only have 23 wins during that stretch, so they haven't been receiving any AP votes. We're going into the 1900s now, as Wyoming was last ranked in 1998. The Cowboys started the season 8-1 and were ranked number 25. Well, it was a jinx, as they lost their final 2 games and scored a combined 3 points to close out the year. Since being ranked, the Cowboys haven't cracked the top 25 again, but they did come close in 2016 when they received AP poll votes. They also received some votes in 2019 after they started the season 3-0. Okay, now it's time to hop in the time machine and go way back. We have to go all the way back to 1961, the last time Rice was ranked. The Owls actually had a pretty insane streak of being ranked, as from 1946 through 1961, they were ranked practically every season. In 1961, the Owls climbed as high as number 7 in the polls. Sadly, it was only for 1 week. After starting the season unranked, the Owls knocked off number 5 LSU to begin their year. This shot them all the way up to number 7, and maybe it wasn't a good call, as they lost the following week 24-0. They fell out of the top 25 and haven't been ranked ever since. Despite being ranked in 13 of 16 years, the Owls after that loss haven't been ranked now in 62 years. The closest Rice has gotten to being ranked again came in 2008 when they received votes after winning 10 games. We'll go back another year, as New Mexico State was last ranked in 1960. It's the only season that New Mexico State has ever been ranked in their 89-year program history. The Aggies really came out of nowhere that season, winning 11 games, by far the most they've ever won in a season, with the next closest being 8. After winning their first 6 games, New Mexico State was ranked 18. They'd win out the rest of the way, being ranked as high as number 14. Since they won the Sun Bowl in 1960, New Mexico State has only reached 2 bowl games. One of them was actually this past season. Since that year though, they've never been close to being ranked again. There's somehow a longer drought than that. Just 1 year earlier is the last season North Texas was ranked, all the way back in 1959, officially the longest drought without being ranked in all of college football. In the Mean Green's 58-year history, they've been ranked only once. After starting the season 8-0, North Texas climbed all the way up to number 16. Of course, they proceeded to lose and fall out of their rankings, dropping 2 of their final 3 games to close the season. North Texas at least hasn't been irrelevant, as they just haven't been good enough to be ranked again. They have 10 seasons with at least 8 wins since that year, and have gone to 11 bowl games since 2001, including 6 of the last 7 seasons. They also received votes in 2003 and 2018. So, if you ever have some bar trivia where you're asked who has the longest drought since being ranked in the AP poll, tell them that Harris Highlights told you it was North Texas in 1959. Well, that wraps it up for the 10 teams with the longest current AP poll droughts. Who on today's list do you think will put an end to their drought and be ranked again? Do you think any of these teams can end the drought in 2023? Let me know in the comment section down below. Before you leave, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. I'm posting a video every day leading up to the start of the college football season, so make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. Also, make sure to drop a like on this video as well. It helps out with that YouTube algorithm and helps share the video with more college football fans. Plus, it only takes a second to do. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.